Hi everyone, thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. I am really excited to show you a solution that I have found that is working really well for me, and that is how to spend less time looking for cardstock and more time creating and enjoying the process of making things. So creative energy to me is something that is spent, and you kind of have to budget where you want to spend your time and that creative energy, because sometimes making a card can be absolutely exhausting, and it shouldn't be. So I wanted to share this, and I really hope it helps some of you out there. I've started off with these little baseball cord organizers. I got them when I was making pocket letters, and I cut a small sample of every piece of cardstock that I had. I numbered them. They're not in any particular number order, and I'll get into that here in a minute. But I numbered them, and then on the back of them, I wrote the color of the cardstock along with the company that I got it from. Now, for years, I've been using these job ticket holders. I found out about these by watching Jennifer McGuire, and I lovingly call her J-Meg. But anyway, that's another story. These were wonderful for keeping track of scraps and things like that. But you can see the little tag that is down and stapled onto the job ticket holder. And that little tag, I'll show you my all my cardstock here in a second, but that little tag corresponds to the number of my sample. And so these samples are easy to find the number of just by flipping through the book, and then I can easily locate numerically where it's at. So for example, I have a little scrap here, and let's say that I made a card and I've got a scrap left over. I don't know where it goes. I don't know the name of the cardstock, but I just have to match it up with what's in my binder. And I should have done this in pencil, but I just write the number down onto the little piece of scrap, and then it is so easy to go over and just grab the number, throw it in the job ticket holder, and it's so much faster. So another idea here is that, let's say I've got prismatics, and prismatics were made several years ago. I found a whole collection of them at an auction. I got really lucky, but they were 3 different colors that were lighter shades of each, and Basil bought them, and they're not making them anymore. You can still find some, but anyway, that's not what my point is here. My point is that they are all in one job ticket holder, all 3 shades. And I wanted to keep them all together because sometimes it's nice to get those different shades. I do a lot with birch press design and layering dies, and sometimes it's neat to see these different shades all at once. So I've given them all the same number. I've separated them out in my binder, but they're all in the same job ticket holder. So that is a really neat way to do that if you have a lot of shades or several shades of the same color that you really don't want to keep in separate job ticket holders, or different shades of green, or patterned papers. This is great for patterned papers too. You can separate them out but keep them all in one spot, and easy to find and yet easy to see. Another thing that I've noticed that this is really great for is picking palette colors. Now, you've probably seen in my most recent videos that I've been going to coolers.co, and I love creating palettes online through their random palette generator, and then just going through. You can download the palette, put it up on your computer monitor, and then pick the colors that are closest to that palette. And that has been so much fun for me to step back from the actual design as a whole and focus just on color first, and everything else seems to come together after that. Another gem from this process that I've found is just, the names. So we've got Simon Says Stamp Fog, and we've got Lawn Fawn Fog, and it just really helps you kind of be more aware and how they are different even though they're under the same name. The colors, when you see them in person, are so different, but also many are the same. And so like these prismatics, you know, I have been like hoarding them because I don't want to use them up, but it's been really nice putting these all together to see, oh, okay, if I run out of this color, I can get the same color in another company or very similar. Now this is not a prismatics, but it's just showing kind of how the different companies sometimes have very, very similar colors. So if you run out of one, you've still got another and you kind of know what to order. Now this is my little cardstock stash here. And you can see that I've just got them all numbered all together here. I've kept this really short because I don't want to make anybody dizzy with my photography here. But you can also see that they're not coordinated by color. They're coordinated by numbers. And, you know, obviously here we've got reds and purples kind of together, but that's just because that's how I had them as I was numbering them. But you can see this green is number 175, and there's other greens that are 150. So, again, that's why this would work really great for pattern papers too, is because it just doesn't matter what order they're in, and you can buy more, right? So you can see how I keep like my base colors. You saw my craft cardstock a minute ago. I keep my blacks in a large tub here so that I can put 12 by 12s in, and I just throw all the scraps in together. So it's kind of like a giant job ticket holder in a way. But I do that with my craft, my black, and my whites. And those are the colors that I use, you know, as base and a lot of projects. Now I also keep a small little tub here of just random things that I've made that I don't want to throw away. I keep a lot of die cuts in with the dies in the folders that they come in, but not all of them. And so I just kind of wanted to show you some of here's a little project I was making, little thank you cards. I thought this would be cute for the lady that lives up the road that I get my eggs from with my egg money to put my egg money in a little card. She keeps a cooler out, and then we put the money in a little envelope in the cooler and take our eggs. But these are just really fun little things that I've put together that I definitely want to use someday. This little apron, just all sorts of fun stuff. And you can see here like this grass that I'm going to pull out here in a second. Usually that would be kept with the grass die, but in this case it was part of my little barn project. So I thought it would be really cute back behind the barn. So that must be why I kept that together, is because it's kind of a card in progress. Now sometimes if I am making like a bigger project, I'll keep the whole project in one of these along with the dies, just so that it's not a mess. So Olga, if you happen to be watching this, here's my pocket letter that I was making from your video. I haven't completed it yet, and actually I have a friend that might be watching this too. This was for you, and I know that you remember because I told you I was making it for you. So I need to finish that. Anyway, well, I hope you guys have gleaned a lot from this video today, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it helps you. And it's about conserving that creative energy for things that we want to be creating, not for finding paper. Have a great day. We'll see you again soon.